speaking with a lot of passion, I'm sure my task is now much easier. So last 2 days, I'm sure all of you have spoken about what's going on in the chemical industry, spoken about the opportunities and the challenges. But I'm going to talk about something very different. And with 10 years of my professional journey, starting with academia, and then another 22 years in industry, and now back to academia, I think I'm in the right position to talk about what's going to happen next. And I've been given 10 minutes, so I'll try to be as quick as possible. So my topic for today is 2030 Navigating Strategies for Skilled Manpower Readiness. We just talked about, finding it difficult to get people in the industries, somebody talking about having less skills, somebody talking about that nobody wants to get their hands dirty. So let's see what's going to happen next. So this is what you see in the newspaper, you see in the news that the industry is really going to have lots of opportunities, is going to reach a market size of 383 billion by 2030. And then the perception also is that and the employment is going to increase. The employment is going to reach 1 million by 2024. And then the perception, I say perception because it says that favorable government policies improving infrastructure and the availability of skilled labor at competitive costs enhance the sector's attractiveness. My question to you is it really true? Is our sector attractive? Let's take a spot survey. Let's say there are 70 or 80 people here. I want to ask you all one question. Among all of you sitting here, how many of you in your families, either your children or your nephews or nieces, aspire to come to the chemical industry? Anyone, can you put up your hand? So there was a time many, many years back when a doctor's son wanted to become a doctor, a chartered accountant's son wanted to become a chartered accountant, and somebody who was in the paint industry would want to have his son or daughter go into the paint industry. But the government seems to be having this perception that there's a lot of availability of skilled labor, and that is why our sector is attractive. Let's look at some numbers. I'm not going to read out. You can read for yourself. This is data from the last 10 years or so, where either there are people who, and numbers don't lie, right? So there are people who are not willing to take chemistry. You can see at the extreme right that there are the number of people who want to opt for the chemical engineering is the lowest, right? There are few takers at the postgraduate level, and the one in the corner, the right-hand side, amid new FYU GP, just for your information, that is a 4-year UG program. So for those who don't know, after 12th, BSc was always 3 years. But as per the new National Education Policy, it will now be a 4-year BS. So now that it's going to be 4 years, we see that there's a very strong decline in the science subjects. And to worsen the situation, there's another study which says it's 45% of India's graduate job seekers who meet the industry needs. So we just saw one slide where there's a perception that everything is doing well and our sector is very attractive. And what do the numbers say, right? So what's the reality check? So I think that we need to ask ourselves two things. Our industry is growing. We see a lot of potential. Everybody is talking about Vikasit Bharat to 2047, etc. But we have to ask two questions to ourselves. Would we really have the required number of graduates, either science, chemistry, chemical engineering, whatever you say, which predominantly what are needed? Are we going to have those numbers in 2030? And with whatever few numbers we have, are they going to have the right skills? I think this is something which we need to wake up to. I have heard about some institutes, reputed institutes, who are closing down the chemical engineering. Some of the colleges who are stopping chemistry departments. Why? Because there are just no takers. And it's a lot of investment to put a chemistry laboratory in a college because you have to have a lab, you have to invest in equipment. It's much easier for them just to close it down and then start something in data science or data analytics. And till last year, when I was in the industry, I realized that once you're in the industry, you're so bogged by your own routine challenges that you never realize what is happening in the academia. And it is true, it is a reality that industry does its own thing and academia does its own thing. But I think today what I'm trying to show you these numbers for is, if we really want to see this growth 2030, if everybody is talking about China +1, or whether it's going to be India +1, as somebody said a few months ago, I don't know, but at the end of the day, are we going to have the skilled manpower? That is what we need to ask ourselves. And while there are challenges, I think we all succeed if we turn every challenge into an opportunity. And this is exactly where Somaiya Vidyavihar University, the first private university in Mumbai, has taken the lead. How many of you would see a university's name as a knowledge partner in conferences? Not very many, right? So last year, I joined Somaiya Vidyavihar University after a long stint in the corporate world. And we started a department, industry partnerships. And this is exactly what we are doing. And seeing all the challenges and seeing all the, we said, this is an opportunity for us. Let us do something which has not been done before. And most importantly is to address the manpower requirement. So our philosophy primarily aims at knowledge alone liberates. And what we realized is that trying to address this only at the level at where we want to recruit people in the chemical industry is not going to be sufficient. And so we have identified 4 pillars. If we really want to make chemistry or science attractive, we have to start when they are young. We have to start at school level, college level, try to make it attractive for them, because children at that age today, right from 7th or 8th, they have already taken a decision what they want to do. The second is accelerate workforce readiness, because we have to address the gap and we have to, be realistic. Today's students, what they learn in the classroom is very different from what they get exposed to when they come to the industry. So many times when they are in the classroom, they really don't know what are the opportunities. And therefore, we have to accelerate this workforce readiness. We can't expect industries to spend 2, 3, 4 months in just training them into it. The third is, it's not enough in only equipping them when they join, but we also need to be sure that with the rapid changes in science and technology, we have to keep upgrading them and we have to keep bridging the skill gap throughout. And last but not the least is research and development. And I want to take a clue from what was being discussed previously. I think when we talk that our industry is not a sexy industry, nobody wants to get their hands dirty, we have to understand and we have to realize that we have to address and attack at the source. And therefore, people talked about green chemistry. And I'm very happy to share with you that we are establishing a Center for Green Chemistry and Sustainable Technologies at Somaiya University. We have Professor John Warner, who is known as the father of green chemistry, as our distinguished professor of eminence. With his help, we are setting up the center. And we have also signed a pledge with them that we will try to promote green chemistry education in higher education. Because if green chemistry is taught right from school and college, then we envisage that a time will come, then all chemistry will be green. That's our vision. So these are the 4 pillars that we're talking about. In interest of time, I will just talk to you about one case that we've been doing in the last 1 year. So, which is focusing on accelerate workforce readiness. So this is about building a talent pipeline for the chemical industry. So WeChemi is a program which was born from the desire to build a talent pipeline for the chemical industry, because globally I think there are around 30% of women in the chemical industry, and in India it's much, much lesser. So BASF approached us, and BASF is leading this initiative. We are the implementation partner, and Indian Chemical Council supports us. And the purpose with which we have set up this initiative is to equip 200 women from underprivileged backgrounds to pursue their careers in the chemical industry. We signed the letter of intent last September, which is less than a year ago. And then our first batch of these girls started in November. So literally within 2 months from signing the LOI, we actually had things on the ground. And what is this program about? Just in brief, we have around 40 women doing BSc or MSc chemistry final year across colleges in Maharashtra. They are all from economically weaker sections. They are being trained by more than 30 faculty, some of them from our university and most of them from industry experts. And for a period of 4 months, they go through in person and online. Just give me a couple of minutes. Right from classroom to team building to industry visits to conferences, we give them all the exposure and they realize what are the opportunities in the chemical industry. And the first batch was certified in April in the BSF Innovation Campus. There you can see all the smiling girls, all eager now to take on jobs in the chemical industry. I'm very happy to share with you that the first batch of the VChemE girls have joined the chemical industry since last month, and a big round of gratitude to all these companies who have come forward to hire them. When we started this initiative, the first challenge we thought would be, would these girls be placed? And I have to tell you that the chemical industry really supported this a lot by, as the girls were graduating, we were getting calls that, can we have these girls? Can we have these girls joining us? And I think that is a really big round of encouragement for these girls, because now we are starting the next batch next week and we can also already see the momentum building. Before we've even started the batch, we've had companies telling us that when these girls are going to graduate, we want to hire them. So I think that is something very, very encouraging. And with this example, I wanted to share with you that while people talk about industry academia collaboration, VChemE is for us a success. And we want to share this success story with you because we want to partner with you. And therefore, we are inviting industry to partner with us in any of these 4 pillars or anything else that you think is important for the chemical industry. I think this is my last slide. As I said, if we really want to meet the goals of 2030, and if we want to ensure that we are all profitable and we are much better than what China was doing a few years back, if we want an industry-ready workforce to contribute to profitable businesses, we have no choice but to have an industry academia collaboration. And it works. This is all what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much.